Hey everybody, this is Mark, aka Christ169, coming to you guys with another live upload. Um, it's been pretty busy few weeks. I had a good vacation, good birthday. Thank you guys for the birthday wishes. I do appreciate it. I am 44 now. Be honest with you guys, I had to get my life in order. Since my mom passed away in February, I gained over 100 pounds. So it's been rough. Grief does creep up on you. If you're not careful, grief will catch her. Grief will creep up on you, and if you're not careful, it will destroy you. That right there is something that I talked about grief in my video. Who does it hurt? Back in September, during Suicide Prevention Month. No, I was nowhere near suicide or anything, but it does drive home the point that we destroy ourselves with food and stuff like that. We destroy ourselves with food, alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, whatever. We do stuff like that. And I'm no different than anybody else. So I'm a lot better for it. I'm getting myself in shape. I'm going back to the gym full time now. I feel better. Now I'm making small decisions. I'm cutting off soda. I have a few sodas I'm going to drink left, and after I'm done with sodas, I'm completely drink water. I may add them when I'm eating lunch at work. I don't know for sure. I might just do 100% cold turkey on soda. I don't know for sure. So see how well that goes. But that's just to understate me why I've been gone for a while. But this video is not about this. This video is about the new Steam machine that's coming out from Valve or Steam. It looks nice. I watched videos on a Newswave and watched videos, and even Gamers Nexus talked a little bit about it. No price on it yet, but it looks like it's going to be expensive. It has like a Ryzen or a Radeon 7600 graphics cards equivalent to it. I think it's going to have a Ryzen. I think they said a 7600, 9500, or 5700. I mean, it was weird. It was a it wasn't really equivalent to a Ryzen, but it was like a Ryzen Z or whatever it is, architecture for the processor. Seems like I think about 3 or 4 hertz. It's 6 core, 12 threads, so it's going to be a little bit probably right around the 5600X, probably a little more in that area. Probably a little more better, obviously, 5600X, obviously. But you know what I'm saying? It's it's gonna be a little box. It's literally it looks like a GameCube. It has a light on it, and the light will actually also be determining the level of your how long time you have loading. If you're loading the game, it tells you by the light on your box there where the game is actually on the loading type of thing. It's starting out in the middle, or it's about done. A 2 terabyte model, 512 gigabyte model are the only ones announced right now. 16 gigabytes of DDR5. I heard it's a slower and DDR5 RAM, but then again, no. With something that's going to be that small, I can't really imagine them putting in, the highest level RAM speed they can. A DDR5. So if you're looking for a PC, a hybrid PC, you play a TV, this is probably going to be it. They're not talking about getting rid of Steam Deck. Steam Decks are still selling well. I think like 2 or 3 million they sold so far. So Steam Decks will sell pretty well. But this is more going to compete with the PlayStation and the Xbox, and maybe even Switch too. Probably more PlayStation, and maybe Switch 2, because Switch 2 kind of smacked the hell out of the Steam Deck in the handheld mode market. Uh, docked. The Switch 2 is it made me dock anyway. So anyway though, but the Steam machine, Valve has a changing face covers. You can change it the way you want to. You'll probably order or create probably online. If you're into those 3D printers, you can probably 3D print some things. They didn't say that it's not interchangeable. That you can't change out the RAM or the memory. I mean that memory and the RAM, the memory. I mean, or the SSD. They didn't say you couldn't. I don't know for sure if it's going to be internal, just hard in like with the PlayStation, Xbox, and the Switch, where it's literally almost welded to the system itself. To take it off, pretty much destroy the system. They didn't say it's not, so let's just say maybe it could be. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's going to be 100%. Part of the console itself, where you could buy a SSD expansion SSD SSD for saving games up to probably 4 terabytes, maybe even more. But if you get a 2 terabyte model and you get the 2 terabyte or 4 terabyte SSD internal, that supposedly goes in the front of the system, and down where the power button is, supposedly a little slot you can slide it into, and it hopefully will just configure it if it's especially made for it. Configure it and then format it, and you can just put your games on there too as well. It's always better to put games on the internal SSD because it can access it faster than putting it on external ones. Speed wise, but also it just works better going through it itself. But doesn't mean that it's anything less if you do it the way I do however you want it. There is no. They haven't said they're going to be allowing external SSD. Like me, I have 2 external 2 terabyte SSDs that plug into my rig. If you can plug one of those in and have it, hanging off it or on top of it, and that'll be, your internal right there. They may allow that eventually, maybe a couple updates probably. The OS will be Steam, but they're just like Steam Deck. They'll allow you to put Windows on there, Windows 11. Maybe even 12, Windows 12, and if Windows 12 is even a thing yet. But I believe that people out there who are saying that this is going to cost $2,000, $4,000, $1,000, I don't know for sure. There's no price on it yet. If you get that, if you can get the VR headset that comes with it, I don't think it comes with it. I think it's going to be probably a sole separate item. But if you can get all that together for like $2,000, the VR headset, the 2 terabyte model, and that, it'll probably be a decent grid for $2,000. Granted, a lot of money, but VR headsets these days are costing about $800 to $1,400. It's not that far off. But if you just want this, to say the 2 terabyte and just nothing more, or the 512, and say that costs $500, that could be a real good deal. Granted, you have to go out and buy SSD, but like I said, that in the OS controller, Steam controller, looks like a Steam controller. There is no word that they'll allow you to use plug-in controllers. You plug in against a third-party controller, Xbox, whatever you use. There's no word on it yet. It'd be good if you could. It'd be good if you could. I think that would be a good idea, only because it gives more options to people. I mean, you want to go to the store and buy a cheap $30 plug-in controller, or like me, you have the power a Pro controller that works magically with it. Plug it in, you play it just like almost like you've been playing anyway. Like I'm playing like on my PC. Plug it in and go. There's no word on that yet. All that stuff's still speculation. So I'll give more information to you guys when I find out more is available on the third-party peripherals. If you're allowed to use external non-Steam controllers. I mean, some people are still using the Stadia controller on their Steam. They plug it in. And it works fine. A few of my friends who bought into Stadia, still use the controller to use it, and it actually does work. Surprising. No issues from that. So, I mean, right there could be, a big situation that could help. Especially if it's going to cost, a little pricey, on the pricey side. Either or, if it's standard or with the whole bundle, with the with the VR headset, something included or not included, it still may cost up to $1,000. Look at the Xbox and PlayStations, and look at the Switch 2. These things, not cheap, guys. Not cheap at all. So we have to start understanding that. So to say that, what one company's doing is terrible and no. I mean, all companies are going to make money. If this thing costs $500 with the 512 by itself, and maybe $1,000 with everything included with the VR headset, that is a steal, okay? Because right now, there's PlayStation costs $600-700. Xbox is about $800. Switch 2 is about $400, $500, $600. It's getting a little out of hand. Okay, so I think that situation needs to be reeled in a little bit more. I think we need to reel this in. Do I think the Steam machine needs to be $200, $299? No, I don't think it needs to be cheap garbage. But what's under the hood, 6-core, 12 threads. If it was 8-core, 16 thread, I'm like, yeah, it's a little more cool. But 6-core, 12 threads, it seems kind of, it's a little skimping on the power, but it could be a very good ploy. Because, there's a lot of processors out there that are 6-core, 12 threads. Even in, DDR4, DDR5, they have some are 6-core, 12 threads. And it's still, you need no less than 6-core, 12 threads anyway to run. So essentially, if you're running, a lot of good games, Battlefield or Baldur's Gate, it's going to run good on 6-core, 12 threads. If you have 8-core, 4 cores, and 8 threads, you might have a little difficult. But I think for a Steam machine, it should have gone at least 12 cores and made 24 threads. With an option to make it 6 or 12 or 6, 8 or 12, where you can cut off how many threads you want, or add threads you want. I mean, but I think they're just making this just a gaming box, not a box that can do 3D rendering and stuff like that, and 3D graphic rendering for your computer, like a lot of computers can. But most computers use a lot of graphics cards anyway for 3D rendering. So this is still new information, but you guys take care out there with the situation. Looking at the situation at hand, the Steam Deck, I don't know if the Steam machine will be sold in stores like Walmart or Best Buy or Sam's Club or Costco. It'd be kind of cool if you walk into a Sam's Club and see Steam machine sit there. A little card, you go to the front and you buy one. I think it's time for Steam or Valve to start selling their things in Walmart like that. Like, you get the Steam machine, get the Steam Deck into the Best Buy, the Micro Centers, the Costco, Sam's Club, place of that nature, and sell them. And sell the Steam machine too as well. Yes, you guys ship out the systems to these stores and make deals with the stores, but if you do that, I'm gonna buy this Steam machine. One Sam's Club. I'm gonna buy the Sam's Club, and they're buying their groceries for the month. Oh, there's your Steam machine. Oh, cool. My kid likes games. I'll buy this for Christmas or whatever. He wants a PC and small PC, and there you go. So I think it'd be a good thing for sales wise. But what do you guys think about the Steam machine down below? Do you guys think it'd be worth anything, or do you guys think it'd just be another, 2011 kind of flop? Comment down below. See you guys later. Peace out.